Joining us now is someone who has had an up-close and personal look at the devastation caused by the BP oil spill, Louisiana Senator Republican David Vitter. Senator, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Shannon.
All right, it hasn't even been a year since that explosion that claimed so many lives,
right.
and the rollout from that, the impact of the spill itself on the environment there,
right.
and the economy there. Were you surprised it didn't get a mention this week?
I wasn't shocked. I was certainly disappointed. First of all, no mention of the spill and the environmental issue. Secondly, he did mention only to bash our domestic oil and gas industry, and that's the continuing devastation that followed the spill. President Obama's de facto moratorium shutting down production and activity in the Gulf. And that's really been very, very hurtful for our Louisiana economy and for the nation's economy.
Well, and we mentioned that your colleague in the delegation there, Congressman Landry, has called on the president to ease some of the moratoriums and things, the restrictions that still exist on offshore drilling.
Right.
What's your position?
Well, I absolutely agree. Look, it's not either or. You know, I think Americans have a lot of common sense, and they're tired of this stale either or debate. And quite frankly, I think they're tired of President Obama's stale rhetoric about oil and gas being the energy of the past. If it's the energy of the past, you shouldn't get an Air Force One and use that jet fuel to fly around the country. It's the energy of the present, and it's going to be for a while. We're all for a transition to new energy sources, but we need to get to that new energy future, and we need a bridge to that future. And in light of all that, we need to use our domestic resources, including in the Gulf of Mexico.
Do you think that the situation in Egypt, as it escalates there, and we don't really know what the outcome is going to be at this point, but because the potential
right.
is there to impact the Suez Canal, do you think that's going to reignite
Sure.
the debate and possibly help you in your requests?
Well, I think it's only a matter of time before the price at the pump goes up dramatically. It's been creeping up significantly. It's only a matter of time before it goes up even more, whether it's because of the Suez Canal in Egypt or just world conditions. And I think when that happens, Americans, as they did in the summer of 2008, are going to wake up and say, wait a minute, why aren't we accessing our domestic energy resources? And they're exactly right. We should be doing that in the Gulf and elsewhere.
All right, I want to ask you about another topic, something that you're involved with now, some legislation with your colleague, Senator Rand Paul. It's about birthright citizenship. Right. And essentially what you're asking is that the states not recognize illegal aliens. They don't get automatic citizenship unless one parent is a legal citizen, a legal immigrant, an active
right.
member of the armed forces, or a naturalized legal citizen. This is a very controversial move. How do you think it's going to be received on Capitol Hill?
Well, I'll be honest with you. You say it's controversial. When I talk to real people in the real world, whether it's in Louisiana and elsewhere, they don't think it's controversial at all. They think the notion that a child born here of two illegal aliens automatically being a citizen is outrageous. And then when I tell them that that's true of 300,000 to 400,000 kids born here who become citizens, even though both of their parents were illegal aliens, they are stunned. Clearly, the drafters of the 14th Amendment did not have that in mind. They drafted the 14th Amendment to address slavery, not immigration.
All right, well, we will watch that legislation, and as it winds its way through Capitol Hill, we hope you'll come back and talk about it. Senator Vitter, thanks so much.
Thank you, Shannon.